You know, I get asked so often by people that are considering doing the birthing awareness 3-step process. What is it? Well, it's easy to tell you what it isn't. It is not a therapeutic intervention. And in the main, those that use the process that I have taught them are not therapeutically trained in any way. You see, I want you to understand as clearly as I can possibly say it that if you study with me for the 2-day 3-step rewind process, which involves lots of pre-learning, 3 hours worth, and post-learning, 1 hour's worth, and includes supervision through your case studies, you will not become a therapist after that. Well, the model itself is not a therapeutic model. The model is based on a systems understanding. It's based on a broadly cybernetic understanding. It's based on an information communication model. You see, when we are working with a client, we don't have to or need to hear the client's experience. We don't have to have them tell us about what they perceived happened to them. It's not important to the process. Now, in the context of birth, women and their partners telling their story seems to be quite important. And maybe that's because in our society, a woman and her partner for that matter may not have had an opportunity to fully express themselves about what happened to them. You know, they're either having their story corrected through debrief, or they're feeling like they can't tell their story because they don't want to frighten people, or they don't want to appear like they're boasting. So when clients come to us with a birth related experience, usually they want to speak about their experience. But when we're not listening for meaning. And that's very different to the way that we would listen to an ordinary conversation. We are listening for calibration. That means we are listening to hear the phrases or words that the client uses to describe their experience. And we are watching to see what the signs and signals are coming off of the client as they speak, as they almost relive the experience, if you like, as they're telling about their experience. The signs and signals are things like muscle tone, facial expression, height of the shoulders in relation to the ears, where the breath is being formed. All of these signs and signals that are coming off the system of patterns that the client is. We listen for calibration. Why? Well, because when we've led the client through the guided meditation, we can see whether they have re-encoded how their experience is structured. And we can know, often long before the client, that they have made a structural shift that is going to change their experience. Now, you've heard me say this lots of time if you follow my work. I get loads of questions from students about what do you do if they've had this, or they've had that, or they feel this, or they said this, or they said that. It really does display a lack of understanding about the core of the birthing awareness 3-step process. We don't have to hear content. We really don't, because we can calibrate without it. That's what you'd learn if you came on the program. Sorry about the noise. That's me done. Thanks.